Jai Bhim to everyone. Once again, thank you so much for inviting me for this event, and I'm very glad to meet you all here. My name is Arivu, as you know already, and I'm an independent musician. I'm a part of the band called CASTELESS Collective, and also I work independently as the name Tirukkural Arivu, and I had worked in so many independent music and movies and stuff, and recently this Enjaami, and I'm really thankful to each and every one of you who supported me since from day one. And this is what is my journey. I'll shortly about and especially after Enjaami, I would say that the reach for my work, or the audience of my works is multiplied into, like, it had gone internationally. I got international audiences, I got international calls, I speak to people overseas. And before that, it was a rare thing that happened to me, like one call comes for a year, once in a year. So but right now I get 4 or 5 calls from, like 10 calls at least, sometimes in from various countries, some random people, random numbers, like they just somehow get my number and send their wishes to me. They will even say, you don't have to reply, just like take this appreciation. In that way, they send messages, and I'm really glad to, like, see all those things. And about myself, I grew up in a town called Arakkonam, which is nearby Chennai, around 80 kilometers from here. And I grew up there. I had never listened to any kind of a cinema music since from my childhood, and I have heard no rap. I was like one orthodox kid. I was brought up by my mother and father in a very, like very scholar based life. My life is like completely based on educational wise. Like they both were teachers, so they always say education is the tool, nothing else can save you. So you just have to study. Like, don't focus on talents, like don't sing, don't write poems. You just have to, like, focus on studies and get into an administration job, or any kind of a entrepreneurship or something like that. But they were always afraid of me, because it's an Indian middle class mindset that every parent is afraid of their children, of how would they survive in this, like technological world, this technological era. But as an electronics and communication engineer, I would honestly say that I am not into the field of what I studied during my undergraduate studies. Also, my postgraduate studies was human resource management in MBA. And I would also say that I'm not doing anything related to MBA right now, but I'm completely into another field, completely into another world. I have never been into a, like, musical concert. I have never seen an like English song, like, since until I get into my college third year. I had no idea about how rap songs will be. I just heard, like the Natupura Padalgal, like the country folk songs, and the root art forms of my land. That's all. So the people around me were, they were all artists. They just, they never say call themselves as artists. They had no, like, they had no Instagram or something like that. They lived with their art. They just, they just gifted this world to us, and they just gone with, gave us some love and, like, guidances. They are the lights in our path. So in that way, I got to know about the art forms of the oppressed. Like the working class music is completely different from what the mainstream conveys as music. The music business does not accept the art forms of the natives. They just exploit it, and it just move away. The artists are always on, like, they are on the poor state. They always live like one isolated person. Yeah, all time artists are isolated because of society. So in that way, I got to grow up through listening to all these kind of art forms, which are against the oppression, which question the authority, which, like, which are for revolution, which calls for revolution, which unites people against the, against the extremist forces. It supports democracy, which I would say precisely. It supported democracy. The democratic art forms attracted me a lot. So in that way, I got very much interested towards music, and I got into music. And especially this YouTube thing, like, even though I'm an engineer, I had no idea about how hot social media is. I just had some Facebook, Instagram, YouTube accounts, and then I was just like browsing things whichever is needed for my studies or job or whatever. And then I just like skip the internet. I don't call, I don't see myself as one techie guy, or I don't use internet often, or I'm not a very addicted person to a phone. I rarely use mobile phones, and I rarely play games. I just, like, I never play games basically. I have no I have no music in my phone. Basically, my phone la பாட்டே இருக்காது. நான் பாட்டே கேட்க மாட்டேன். ஆக்சுவலா I hate listening and அது மாதிரி ஒரு ஆள் தான் நான். But I hate listening to recorded music. I love listening to live music. I see people like I enjoy watching music on streets. I don't enjoy it on like like the most quality system எல்லாம் கேட்கணும்னு ஆசை இல்லை. எனக்கு தெருவில் பாடுறத பார்த்தாலே போதும். I can watch a street performer for hours. In that way I'm very much attracted toward this art form. But as an independent artist, as a rapper, definitely I had to face a lot of struggles because of the ideology I speak here. Especially when you speak against the oppression, especially when you speak for equality, definitely there are going to be opposition for you, because what you are telling is something which is not accepted in the mainstream. Is what is the society is all about. Like, since the society is a caste society, the art form is also a caste art form. Like every instrument has their own respect, like how is a mridangam treated and how is a parai instrument treated. So both has different economies, different lifestyles, different culture, like different life and death, basically. Like, since from the birth to death, a parai artist lives a different life, and a mridangam artist or another swaram artist or a Carnatic musician lives completely a different life from a musician who is a folk artist from down south in Tamil Nadu. So in that way, there are so many differences in the society, which eventually or directly, indirectly, in one way or other way, it's reflecting into the art majorly. So that's why there is no economy for like the native art forms or the root art forms, especially the Opari, the Ghana art forms, or like those songs carried the messages of equality. Those songs spoke for the people. They spoke about the pain and life of the working class people. So in that way, those songs were not celebrated as mainstream. And the songs which are sexist, which are casteist, which supports the male chauvinism, or which supports the gender inequality, those kind of songs, body shaming, or especially like speaking about the pride of the land, or a caste, or the gender, or a town maybe, or a race maybe, or a language maybe. So these kind of a pride is what is called as a mainstream art in the society. But the sounds of equality, the voices of the voices for the oppression, were never considered as an art form. They were considered as like extracurricular activities, or it's like some social service kind of a thing. We were never called as mainstream. But right now, I feel the positionings are changing, the times are changing. Like, we are called in the mainstream gates are open for us. The mainstream gate is open for artists who speaks for equality. So we are able to get into mainstream channels, medias, YouTubes, everywhere, and we speak the content there. But this was not possible like 10 years ago or 20 years down the line. This was not possible. This is the time for independent music. And especially since I grew up reading Ambedkar, I grew up watching like dramas about Ambedkar, songs about Ambedkar, movies about Ambedkar, readings. I grew up reading writings of Ambedkar, and discussions, debates, meetings, conferences, everything. Ambedkar was like all around me. He was the only one I had. In that way, that Ambedkar filled my childhood days. Like, the only missing thing is I had never seen that person alive. That's the only thing I miss in Ambedkar. Like, he was completely around me. So in that way, all my songs carried his messages. Like, all my songs carried the messages which were written as text by him and lyrics by me. That's all. His text turned to my lyrics. In that way, I see how I got how I see Ambedkar, and how I follow I just want to convert all of his writings into songs. That's all. If I finish doing that, definitely I would say my life is done. I'm ready to like move away now. So in that way, I'm very much interested about how he speaks equality, and how he crafted the Indian Constitution, and how he wrote the writings which even today is very, very much important for us, and he's still guiding us as a light of like equality, as a voice of equality. His works are still speaking. He is still alive. So in that way, my art also started reflecting Ambedkarite thoughts. I had written so many songs for Casteless Collective, especially Casteless Collective is a music band founded by director Paranjit from Neelam Cultural Center. It was his initiative, his brainchild. He actually, he from him I got to more closer with Ambedkar, because I would say director Paranjit is Ambedkar for me. Is like a contemporary Ambedkar to me. Whatever I want to talk talk to Ambedkar, I can talk to director Paranjit. In that way I see, because like I'm not even praising, because I really see it in him. He really cares for the society. He really cares for the oppressed. He really want to be the voice of the people who are voiceless, and he invests a lot in it. He puts all his like time, energy, money, effort, involvement, everything into like the art for people. The art for people completely. Is an artist because he's created an artist like me. He has given an space for an artist like me. He is still guiding me, like he is with me. So in that way, we both together now carry the message of Ambedkar. So now the caravan is like hold it strongly with our hands. In that way, there are so many youngsters all over Tamil Nadu, all over India right now, are very much aware in their art forms that they are also speaking about equality, and they are also speaking about their like voice against the oppression, and they are questioning the authority from wherever they are from, however small or big they are. If they want to ask the question to the government, they write songs. So this is a very important cultural change initiated in Tamil Nadu by director Paranjit, and definitely I'm very glad and proud and humbled to be the part of this journey. And it's a very big movement. Basically, I would call it as a movement. It is not a single person Arivu. It is not a single person Paranjit, Neelam Kalsan, not like that. It's completely a movement. This movement is like this movement is going to speak equality. This movement is going to be the the movement of this millennium is going to be shaped by this movement. This is an NWA movement in Tamil Nadu. If you call it in hip hop la சொல்லுவாங்க NWA னா அந்த வார்த்தை சொல்லி சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு மூமெண்ட், தட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் அ மூமெண்ட், திஸ் NWA மூமெண்ட் இன் தமிழ்னு சொல்லலாம். அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு பீரியட்ல நானும் ஒரு 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 இம்பார்ட்டன்டான ஆர்டிஸ்டா இருக்கிறது. ஐ எம் ஆல்சோ ஒன் ஆஃப் த இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஆர்டிஸ்ட் இன் தட் மூமெண்ட். ஸோ வைல் திங்கிங் ஆஃப் தட் ஐ எம் ரியலி ஹம்பிள்ட் அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். அதே போல definitely casteless, after casteless collective I got to opportunity to work on movies. Like my first movie was with director Paranjit for Kala movie. I wrote a song about land rights. The first song I wrote about is land rights. So this song, especially I grew up in a rented house. I had no land. I had no proper own house until I was 25. So until that I had never enjoyed the freedom of being in a own house. So since I am from a landless background, it was very much comfortable for me to write that song. And also it was very much I went more close to the truths. I spoke my roots. That's all. Those lines were also taken from the the observations I made with my roots. And that pain is like that pain is that art. So in that way, director Paranjit gave me that opportunity to write that song. And after that, I got an opportunity to write for other movies as well, mainstream movies, commercial movies. And I started working everywhere just because of insecurity, because my parents were very much afraid of me, that I would anytime lose this fame, or I would anytime lose this contacts or opportunities or whatever, and I would be thrown away. So in that way, they were very much afraid. That's why they said, study MBA, study for civil services, study something, do something. Whenever you feel down, if you want to quit, you can always jump into education. So in that way, my parents guide me on the other side, and their fear is what made me to work more, is what I will say. So for them, I started working more and more just to prove them that I can also make a living through music. So now they are happily accepted that I can be a musician for my lifetime. Because this, especially in this 1 year, my parents accepted me that you can be an artist. But previous times, like when I used to, even after Casteless Collective, even after Kala, Vada Chennai, even after Anti-Indian, my mother used to tell, man, when are you going to quit this and go and join, for a coaching class or something? My mom used to always ask me, which degree are you going to do next? Like, when are you going to do your PhD? In that way, my mom and dad used to ask. And so amidst all that, I got so much good friends to guide me, so much good, people around me, all Ambedkarites. So everyone is taking care of me very well. Like intellectually, I got so many. I got so many people to guide me down south in Tamil Nadu, and elders, especially political leaders, politicians, writers, musicians, music directors, and good friends who are research scholars. In major universities like Jawaharlal Nehru University, and writers like media persons, like so many people to guide me. And I'm like being taken care of very well of this, this school of thought. This school of thought, this Ambedkarite school of thought is taking care of me very well. So I am here to, like, I want to create, I want to guide, and I want to bring so many artists like me. So that's what is I feel is my job right now. And definitely that's, I feel that's what is I'm doing. And I also parallelly write independent songs, and so many of you would have heard all my songs. If you haven't heard my songs, kindly go and listen in YouTube Terukural Arivu. So you can just search Arivu songs, and you can listen to my songs. Definitely most of the songs will have subtitles, and definitely you can enjoy my songs. And you can tell me your comments. And this is what is my journey shortly about. I would say so many things, so many branch stories, so many obstacles, so many challenges. There are so many things you can enjoy, you can suffer being a musician. So there are so many testimonies, there are so many confessions, there are so many, like, so many things are there to tell you. But I right now stop here. So that, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, Ambedkar King Study Circle, and everyone who is listening to this audio. And I hope I spoke my heart to you. So definitely I hope if anything or any word or any moment is useful for in your life, kindly take it. And definitely we will meet someday. Thank you. JBM.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. It's a wonderful talk. We all appreciate it. And you are kind of, based on what you said, like kind of living and breathing Ambedkar and his writings coming through your songs and your scripts. And definitely it's been a wonderful. Um, and of course, the people who come from the middle class, the parents always push you to do education. Education is the only salvation to get to the next stage in life, right? So music is kind of downplayed, even though if you have a natural talent. Even A.R. Rahman has said the same thing. But at some point, the talent has to come out in its own way, right? So really appreciate it. And also that how the inequality you just mentioned, like playing para music and playing the other Carnatic musical instruments, there is a economy behind it. And the folk music or the street music is just not at all appreciated or even encouraged. And thank Ranjit and you for bringing it to the mainstream. Really appreciate your hard work, right? So we'll go to the question answer session. I'm sure a lot of people would like to ask you tons of questions. Question from Rahul Ramaswamy Manoharan. How did you tell your parents that you're going to pursue music from the very start?
um it was so funny actually, because my parents never accepted me. They never even, like, bother about that. When I say that I'm going to be a musician, they just laugh. Oh, how will you become a musician? In that way they just laugh. Because but they enjoy my singing, but they encourage me singing, but they never wanted me to be an artist on stage. They never wanted me. They'll say, my mom will say, you become a government officer and then you sing in the government office. Then I will say, how can I sing in a government office? They will suspend me. No, you just sing there. So your office people will listen to you. So in that way, my mom wanted to be one office artist, one, like one bathroom singer kind of a passion. So in that way only I was treated. But definitely they also had that spark of encouraging me towards it, but they were socially afraid, because we are the first generation educated in the entire generations we know. So education is the only tool that made me to go to college, or made me to speak right or whatever. So they never wanted to lose that educational upliftment. So if I become an artist, I'm not going to study, I'm going to break my education. My parents were not ready to break my education for music and all. They were not that much settled for taking that risk. They saw music as a risk. We saw music as, even I saw music as a risk. Definitely I realized that it's definitely a risk only. But that from that time, that understanding of risk is something different. So my parents used to always subject me, always, like, ரொம்ப discourage தான் பண்ணுவாங்க. But they loved me. So I took it as one very kind of a thing. பாருங்க, wait, I will show you, I will become a musician. In that way, what I made, what I did after first movie Kala. My mother never goes to movie theaters. Okay, my mother never watched TV. My father never watched TV. My house has no television since from my childhood, even today. So for the first audio launch of Kala movie, I called my mom and said, You are coming to the, you have to come to the audio launch. She said, no, I won't come. I said, Rajinikanth and all the major actors are coming. This is the first time I am going to meet Rajinikanth and all. So will you come? In that way I spoke. And she was like, okay, this could be one high moment for you. So I am coming. In that way they came. And but you know what I did? I took them to the front row and made them sit behind, director Paranjit, superstar Rajinikanth, and all the film celebrities around them. And that moment I saw my mom and father's face, and I was like, okay, this is what I was always thinking and crying to you about. This what this place is what I always longed for, and this is for this moment only I was like trying to prove you this much years. So in that way they started accepting me, understanding me, even though there's that fear. But that moment now on, it's a cumulative, different kind period another different talks. Yes.
வணக்கம் தோழர் அறிவு.
வணக்கம் வணக்கம் தோழர் இளமா.
I was so inspired by a song when I saw that Sanda Saivam. They call me Arivu. I am one of you. Equality is my dream. Yes, you are one of us. You represent us as in front of us. What are the ideas we have in our mind? What are the anger we have against our society? You are representing us one. We are so proud of you, Arivu. First, hats up for you. You being very bold enough one to bring up this one against this inequality what we are facing. My question to you is, it's in two parts, Arivu. Like one, an interlike one. I heard some many interviews like Bob Marley's song "Love Me" inspired you a lot. One, how it inspired you? One question number one. Question number two, like we haven't heard about para music and folk one. We need to bring up to the next level, recognize the people. As you have become like an international pop star, an international one, what are your ideas behind it? How to bring that Paraisa and the Natupura part of one into the next level?
Okay. So thank you so much, Ilamaran. So answering your question, for the first question is about Bob Marley. I had no idea about who Bob Marley is since I meet director Paranjit, because I had seen Bob Marley T-shirts, like hat and every fancy things about Bob Marley. And after that, I know he's a musical artist and I know he makes reggae music, but I haven't got after that. அதுக்கு மேல நான் அதை பத்தி தெரிஞ்சுக்க விரும்பல. But once I meet director Paranjit, he showed me one song. Um, no woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. ஒரு மாதிரி பயங்கர வைபான ஒரு சாங். அதை கேட்கும் போது I felt so much comfort, and I felt so much, like the revolutionary feeling is inside, but it's made of love. It's a cake of, it's a cake of revolution. So I felt like this kind of music we should also make. So அது பார்த்து இன்ஸ்பயர் ஆகி தான் for Casteless Collective I did one song. மெட்ராஸின் மகிழ்ச்சி அது நாம் தானே மச்சி, இது கானா நிகழ்ச்சி, இனி செய்வோம் புரட்சி, அடுக்கு மாடிய படுக்க வச்சுட்டா அதுக்கு பேருதான் நம்ம அட்டி, அழுக்கு பாதியும் கொழுத்து மீதியும் இருக்கு பாருடா இந்த சிட்டி, என் கூரையோரம் வாடகை தராமல் வந்து தங்கிருக்கு புறாக்களை, என் சாலையோரம் சாக்கடை நீரில் செல்ஃபியும் எடுக்கும் வெண்ணிலாவே, மெட்ராஸின் மகிழ்ச்சி அப்படின்னு பாட்டு இருக்கும். ஸோ இது I was very much inspired. I loved Bob Marley, so I just want to tribute him through this song. It's like one, I loved him. அவரை பத்தி படிச்சேன். I read after that I started reading about Bob Marley. After I studying his history, I was like, what a man, what a man. He's like, he did his job and he's gone very earlier. He died at a very early age, but he has done his job, is what I feel. He's still alive. He's with me. He's inside me. He's inside you. He's inside everyone. So artists have no death. It is art, it's art. Lifetime is infinity, is what I say. I feel. So I'm very much inspired by Bob Marley and his life and his struggle and his political moves through his art, his political art. So in that way, I'm very much inspired by Bob Marley. And answering your second question about Parai music, yeah, definitely. Right now, there is a very big renaissance period of like the folk music, I would say, because after the Casteless Collective is on the game, So the casteless collective music completely changed the face of Ghana music. So Ghana music is always considered as a cheap art form, or as a very low economy art form. Is basically it's defined through caste only. It's like ultimate reason for every problem in India lies in the caste only. But people are never ready to talk about it. People are never ready to discuss about it. So they just beat around the bush and say it's some other problem. So in that way, casteless collective was the first bold attempt to speak about the life and art form, celebrating the artist and the art of folk musicians. So in that way, the parai instrument and the respect for parai instrument, social recognition for the parai instrument, market value for the parai instrument, the life, the lifestyle of the parai artists and the journey and everything is started changing right now. In that way, we are planning to do more concerts with parai and more experiments with parai music, more documentation about the parai. And we have to right now, through the event called Roots, we have conducted one event called Margadiyil Makkal Isai. We did one 8-day music festival, 8-day folk music festival in Chennai during the month of musical month of Margadi in Chennai. So we did as a counterculture move of bringing the folk music to the stages where only the traditional Carnatic musics were played and heard and celebrated. So in that way, we try to celebrate our root art forms. In that way, it is a political and a musical move. Right now, this is a period of renaissance, or the democratization. It is the period of democratizing the music field. So right now, the music is being celebrated by everyone. Everyone's music is every voice is heard by music. People have started speaking their own stories through independent music. Even I am able to release my own songs from my own. So in that way, parai music and both the content of parai music, life of parai artists, and the music itself is right now started institutionalizing, and definitely this is a growth time, I would say.
Great. Thank you for your question. We have several questions after that, and people are waiting in the line to ask a question. Before the next question, Tamil Shelvan, he said that you have been a very good, inspiring person for his two daughters, and they're going to dance and sing for your tunes in the next theater, especially the Enjaami one. So you are really thankful to you. And the next question goes to Varsha.
ஹலோ வணக்கம், கேக்குதா? வணக்கம் அண்ணா. முதல் நான் கேள்வி கேட்கறதுக்கு முதல் ஒரு நன்றி சொல்லணும். இந்த எல்லாரும் கதைச்ச மாதிரி உங்களோட பாடலும் உங்களோட வரிகளும் எங்களோட வளமையான தமிழ் வரிகளை தாண்டி நாங்கள் ஒரு ஐடியாலஜின்னு இருக்கிறத சேலஞ்ச் பண்ணியிருக்கு நிறைய விஷயங்கள்ல. அதை நான் இங்கே கனடாலேருந்து கதைக்கிறேன். அப்போ இங்கே என்னுடைய வயசு ஆக்களை விட என்னுடைய வயசை விட சின்ன ஆக்கள் கூட உங்களோட வரிகளை பாடி சில நேரம் அவன் அம்மா அப்பாட்ட கேட்கிறோம், இந்த வார்த்தைக்கு பூர்வக்குடி என்ற வார்த்தைக்கு என்ன அர்த்தம், இந்த வார்த்தைக்கு என்ன அர்த்தம், காணின்ற வார்த்தைக்கு என்ன அர்த்தம். அப்போ அப்படி உங்களோட வரிகள் எங்களுடைய தலைமுறையை வளர விட்டுருக்கு. ஸோ முதல் அதுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய நன்றி. அடுத்தது நான் எல்லாருக்கும் விளங்கக்கூடியதான் நான் இந்த கேள்வியை இங்கிலீஷில் கேட்குறேன். ஓகேண்டா. So I'm from Canada, but I'm from Tamilam originally. So inja when we grow up here in North America, it's definitely a dual identity for sure. And one, we have to grow up with our Tamil identity, and also we have to learn the socioeconomic balances of North America, where we stand as a individual within the economics of North America, within Toronto or within Canada or America. And so when we kind of come to terms with our identity, it's very difficult because it's dual-sided, because sometimes we're told we're not Tamil enough, and then by people here in Canada or North America, we're told we're not North American enough. So in that sort of kind of conflict, when you're writing your pieces, how do you translate your conflict to not only sound so poetic in music, but beyond that, how do you get that pain across? What kind of methods do you find yourself using to get that kind of pain, but also that motivation and drive to decolonize and deconstruct all of these structures in your writing?
Definitely, all these things are inspired from the roots only, I would say. because I grew up in an environment which I had never faced, like the direct discrimination, or I had never been not allowed inside a house, or I had never been walked in a street without a chapel, or like I had never faced anything, but my roots had. But they didn't pass that to me, they just blocked it. So they killed it there. So how do they kill it? They killed it through education. They killed it through empowerment, by uplifting themselves. They created a change in the lives of their generations. Also, I am the first generation. So my father was the very first person to get a doctorate in my village. My village even now has no bus, like no bus will come for my village. There is no bus route for it. So this kind of a pain, this kind of a life is what I write right now. Like as everyone knows, I don't read much and all. I actually don't read. I just speak to people. I just look into their eyes and listen to their stories. That's all. I travel. I sit with my grandmother. I sit with my grandmother. I sat with my grandfather and I wrote Kota song. Nilame Engal Urime was written after a deep conversation with my grandfather. He said, he was not allowed inside he was not allowed to, like enter into the house through a front gate, and I'm allowed everywhere. So it makes me so emotional. It makes me so thankful to the roots, like my friend did not discriminate. Maybe they discriminate me in my absence. They insult me in my absence. They call out my caste name when I'm not there. But they are afraid to show their caste face to me, and they started to treat me as equally. So these kind of things amaze me a lot. So these are all my inspirations, and especially my parents. I would, because my parents were always service oriented people. They have my father, since from my childhood, never spent much time with me. He always go to villages, talk to students, bringing students to houses, taking classes, me attending meetings, attending the protests. We always protest. Like since from my childhood, I had gone through, like, if you call if you meet a person and you ask how many marriages you went, they will say some 500 marriages I went since from my childhood. I will say I had gone to some 50 marriages and some 500 protests. So since from my childhood, protest was like an usual thing for us, and we are habited, we are used to asking for rights. We are never afraid of, being life being taken away, being job being taken away, being money being robbed away. We didn't care about anything. We are just like natural resisting artists. So in that way, these are all the influences around me to make right. Definitely there is no literature influences, nothing like that. Definitely there is no exaggerations, nothing like that. No romanticization. My art never romanticized. So some of my friends used to say, why are you preaching on the stage? They used to say, why are you doing it like on worship kind of a thing? But I will say, no man, this is my art, this is my pain, this is my whatever you think it is. It vents out my pain. It will go where it should go. The right ears will listen to it. You will call it as one boring song or one preachy song or whatever. You will say it one casted song also, but I don't care. The right ears will listen to it and respond to it, and definitely the discussion will begin. So that's the hope that driving me, I would say, Varsha. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your question, Varsha. And one question from Ajinkya in the chat room. He said that what was the influence from your grandma? He wants to know how your grandma influenced you.
Okay, as I said, my childhood, both of my parents were teachers. They were unable to spend much time with me. My grandmother actually grew me up. My grandmother, I call her mother. Actually, in my town, grandmothers will be called as party, but I will call my party as amma. Amma means mother. So in that way, I call her direct mother. So Valliammal was the one who made me, because I was one அருந்தவாள் you will call in Tamil. It's one like அருந்தவாள் கிட். அதுக்கு என்ன இங்கிலீஷ்ல நீங்களே தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. சாரி, நீங்களே அதை புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. So I was on like very naughty kid. So she was the one who adjusted me. Like she tolerated all my luties in all my, since I was a creative kid, I did so many crazy things which, burnt my house and, like buried on the ground and like cut the tree like that, doing something, breaking all the, like breaking a light or breaking a radio, like those kind of crazy things I was doing. And she was the one who take care of me. But she had her history. Like when I grew up, I got to know that she is having a very big wound in her heart, and she has left her motherland, and she had came here as a, like plantation worker. And she used to tell me, never tell this to anyone. She, since from my childhood, my grandmother used to say, never tell that I'm from upcountry Sri Lanka, because they were very much afraid of the society will discriminate them, society will avoid them if they find them immigrants. So in that way, that was a fearful life she had gone through. But she had never said the story to me. She just carefully, like carefully sculptured our lives. So she had put blood and sweat to develop us, for us to grow. So in that way, I felt very much thankful to her when I got to know about the Sri Lankan plantation workers and their history and their contribution to the economy of Sri Lanka, but their landlessness and their struggle and their protests and their struggles for the wages and, their struggles for the human dignity and their migration and story, everything. So she is a great inspiration for me, brother. Like everywhere, whenever I talk about her, I get emotional. And one more thing I would like to say, especially right after the Enjaami song, Valliammal has become very famous. Like the best thing happened to her was where she had gone to government hospital for her. She can't walk. She can't walk. She just needs a support while she's walking. So she went for hospital for a regular checkup for a government hospital. There was a very big queue, and the doctor saw her, and doctor came out from her seat and went directly to my grandmother and said, you are Arivu's grandmother. I saw you on television, so please come. Why are you standing in this queue? In that way, they treated her. This was one lifetime thing. In her entire lifetime of 80-85 years, no doctor, no government hospital doctor treated her like that. This was one best review, or best like compliment for the song I got through her. And she has blessed me a lot, and I love her, man. I love her. I have no words, basically. Thank you.
What was the question is like, what was your reaction after listening to Enjaami song?
Her reaction?
Yeah. What did he say?
She was crying. She was crying, and she hugged me and kissed me and said, you told all our stories la. I always sonna, you didn't obey me la. You told all the stories la. Like that she said. Because like they don't even know that they're oppressed, brother. They are just socially conditioned that this is their life. They had to live. But this is a game of politics. This is a I am a result of the mistake in an administration. I am the result of the mistake in a system. But people were uneducated to understand that. So I feel very emotional when I speak about my roots. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks. The next question is from Dandapani.
I had a quick follow-up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry for interrupting. So you mentioned a very important project of converting Ambedkar text to music. So can you tell us more about it? How are you organizing and institutionalizing it?
So right now, what I'm doing is, whichever song I wrote, I try to put one Ambedkar's quotation into it. Like that line will be the highlight line of the song. So I try to add Ambedkar's thoughts into the whichever songs I do. Like across all the movies, like whichever song I write, I will use one Ambedkar quotation in it. I feel like this is one easiest way to take Ambedkar to a mainstream and to wider audience. Like for example, I did one movie I wrote for a movie called Master. In that Master movie, I directly put educate, agitate, Karpi, educate, unite, Karpi Undrese. So I just directly put it, and definitely a lot of millions of youngsters got the thought. They listen to what Ambedkar said. So in that way, I am like channelizing it into a wider thing, wider area. But definitely I would want to completely convert, or completely present the writings of Ambedkar into art forms. It will be a lengthy project. It needs definitely, like maybe so inputs from so many of you, and definitely we could do it as a team is what I say. I can definitely write and sing, but definitely I would definitely need a team of Ambedkarites, sincere Ambedkarites who definitely wants to unite the society through the thoughts of Ambedkar. So like Ambedkar is our tool. Ambedkar is the tool for us to win this equality, win this game, or win this fight for equality. So in that way, it's a very long process. Definitely, I hope definitely I will find right people to do it together. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks. Tandapani?
Yeah. Thank you. அறிவு வணக்கம். நம்ம இதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு சந்தர்ப்பத்துல
பேசியிருக்கோம். வணக்கம். நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா?
நல்லா இருக்கேன். நீங்க நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா?
ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கேன். ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கேன்.
ஓகே. தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் ஜாயினிங் திஸ் மீட்டிங். 2-3 விஷயம் மட்டும் குயிக்கா கேட்டணும்னு நினைச்சேன் நானு. என்ஜாமி வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி உங்களோட திருக்குறள் ஆல்பம் வந்து எங்க வீட்டுல நிறைய ஓடிட்டே இருந்தது. எஸ்பெஷலி இந்த யூடியூப்ல இருக்க கேஸ்ட்லெஸ் கலெக்டிவ் வந்து எங்களோட வீக்கெண்ட் ஃபன் வந்து அதுலதான் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும். என்ஜாமி வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் தட் இஸ் தி டே ஸ்டார்டர். ஐ ஹாவ் அ 3.5 year kid and for 2 months old. They both want that song as the day starter. அப்படிதான் போயிட்டு இருக்கு. Thanks to you for being there. But இந்த கான்டெக்ட் நான் எதுக்கு சொல்ல வந்தேன்னா, before Enjaami and after this there is a difference, and before Casteless Collective and after Casteless Collective there should be a difference. I saw you participating in some random street side propaganda, like political propaganda, political meetings and stuff there where you are trying to rap, and I could easily feel that oh, this guy is singing something that no one else is understanding, even those on the stage, like all the political leaders or the one bystanders who are listening to the political meetings. Basically நம்ம ஊர்ல சொல்ற மாதிரி இந்த தெருவோர கூட்டங்கள்ல வந்து நீங்க எவ்வளவு முயற்சி பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. எனக்கு என்ன தோணுச்சுன்னா வந்து how did you get through that? Like அதெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரகிளா பார்க்கும் போதே எங்களுக்கு தெரியுது. அந்த ரேப் வந்து போய் சேர்ற மக்களே இல்லை. நீங்க நிறைய மேடையில பாடிருக்கீங்க. அந்த மக்கள், அந்த ஆடியன்ஸ் வந்து ரேப் பாக்குற மக்கள் கிடையாது, ரேப் பத்தி தெரியாத மக்கள். அங்க போய் நீங்க கஷ்டப்பட்டு ரேப் பாடுறீங்க. அதே ஒரு நாட்டுப்புற இசை டியூன்லயோ ஏதோ பாடிந்தா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ரெகக்னிஷன் அப்பவே கிடைச்சிருக்கும் போல. பட் இந்த மாதிரி நீங்க நிறைய பிரேக்கிங் பாயிண்ட் தாண்டி வந்திருப்பீங்க. When did you feel that this is the ultimate breaking point? You are trying to bring in rap to the Tamil audience where it is not much familiar. பாப் மார்லி டிஷர்ட் பார்த்தவங்க கம்மி பேர் தான். என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நார்த் மெட்ராஸ்ல பாப் மார்லி ஃபேமஸ் ஆன மாதிரி சவுத் மெட்ராஸ்ல கிடையாது, ரைட்? தட்ஸ் ஒன் திங். ஸோ மை கொஸ்டின் இஸ், வாட் வாஸ் எ பிரேக்கிங் பாயிண்ட்? செகண்ட் ஒன் வந்து நீங்க இன்னொரு இதுல சொல்லிருக்கீங்க, குறைஞ்சபட்சம் பாடி ஷேமிங்காவது இல்லாத பாட்டு நான் எழுதணும்னு விரும்புறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. அப்ரிஷியேட், ஹேட்ஸ் ஆஃப் டு தட். அந்த தாட் ப்ராசஸ் வந்து மெயின் ஸ்ட்ரீம் மீடியால இருக்க எல்லாருக்குமே வந்துருச்சுன்னா நம்ம சினிமாவே ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய டூலா இருக்கும். ஒரு ஈக்குவாலிட்டியும் சரி எல்லாத்தையும் மக்கள் கிட்ட கொண்டு போய் சேர்றதுக்கு. அன்பார்ச்சுனேட்லி சினிமா அந்த லைன்ல இல்ல. ரேப் வர்சஸ் சினிமேட்டிக் சாங். இப்போ நீங்க ரேப் நிறைய ட்ரை பண்ணீங்க, ஆனா என்ஜாமி தான் உங்களை வந்து ரொம்ப ஹைலைட்ல தூக்கி போய் வச்சிருக்கு. டவுன் த லைன் நீங்க வந்து இதை எப்படி பர்சியூ பண்ண போறீங்க? Do you still think rap is relevant to the current Tamil audience or the future generation? These are my 2 questions.
Okay. ரெண்டுக்குமே தனித்தனியா ஆன்சர் பண்றேன். முதல்ல அந்த பிரேக்கிங் டைம் பத்தி கேட்டீங்க. ஸோ நிச்சயமா நான் எப்படி பாக்குறேன்னா, எனக்கு வந்து உண்மையாவே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஓகே ஐ ஆன்சர் இன் இங்கிலீஷ் பிகாஸ் இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லலாம்ல. ஸோ at the very beginning I didn't get any like proper support from anyone. Like even my closest friend would say, man, why are you speaking political music? Why are you taking that route? I was a very good mimicry artist during my college life. I used to entertain people. I used to like imitate everyone I see. I'm a guy who like reflects you like a mirror. Abdi na mimicry pannuven. Like I used to like do like 50-60 voices during a particular period of time. And the mari or college culturals, I was a very fun giving guy. I was an entertainer only during my college days. But once I take this like a serious art forms route, it definitely I lost a lot of my friends. Like right now they are back, but at that point of time nobody even supported me. Nobody was willing to like support me or say, man, you are doing right. அந்த மாதிரி யாருமே சொல்ல. ஸோ அந்த பாயிண்ட்ல இருந்து And I had only one thing. I had my poetry. That's all. My poetry took me here. My poetry took me to you. But definitely, I would say rap. I have never listened to a rap. I just read Tamil fast. I just read newspapers fast. I just feel like I'm a news reader, and I will just sit in front of my mother and father, and I'll just read. I just read Tamil very very fast, and then I just sing on my own tunes. I'll just, if I see some words, I'll just make a tune and sing on that. And definitely, that was very much interesting for me, and I was just a bathroom singer. But after coming to the industry also, there was no support for me. Like before that, there was no musical support. After getting into the industry, there was no moral support. Like only I had very very few people. I had director Paranjit who supports me always, but other than that, I cannot find more than two or three people, because in that way this industry is all about privilege and hierarchy, and like there's a lot of stuff which I haven't been experienced in my life. So பயங்கர struggle தான் இருந்துச்சு. It's like when I went to sing on streets, I totally believed this is a song, this should be sung on streets. I never saw it as one, like a lot of people said, you have to sing in concerts. Why are you wasting your effort on streets? Why are you doing it for free? How will you make money with your art? I was like, no, I'm not here to make money with my art. I'm just here to convey my message. That's all. I'm just here to sing my song. I'm not waiting for your money. I was like one guy who never care about earning or income, or I was like one free singer. I go everywhere and I sing. If someone asks me to sing one song, I'll sing three songs. In that way, I was like most available guy. I was like, everyone had my number. Everyone will be in touch with me. Every day I will be singing. I will be singing on streets. I will be singing for like small studios to big studios. Everywhere I became like one guy who was a very available guy. After that, after that Sanda Saivam and Anti-Indian went viral through that Terukural. I felt like, oh, this model is working. Even without any production, without zero, money, without any support, nobody's promoting. I just went on one street and performed on Facebook live video of Sanda Saivam for the protest of anti-CAA in India. The next morning, I'm being called by DMK leader Stalin and another big major political party leader, and I'm getting calls from all the medias, and the floodgates opened. I was like, okay, let's go, let's talk this to everyone. And I was like, okay, I already had stories to tell, so I went there, I performed, and luckily or not luckily, eventually I got next opportunity to work on a movie which is also political. I wrote for the movie Surarai Potru, and that song got released. And for that, all the medias, like they asked me for interviews, about working for that movie. And with that movie interviews, I started promoting my independent music. So this was one tough journey only, because I had nobody to, support or, like encourage. Like, I realized one thing, basically, it was it is very, very personal, but I would like to say it as a friend to you, because, like, people wants you to grow, people wants to support you until or unless you are standing against them. Like if you start questioning their privilege, if you start questioning their authority, if you start questioning the hierarchy, they start hating you, they start suppressing you, is what is happening in my life, basically. But I am really really happy that I'm getting support from overseas people like you. People like you are listening to what I'm speaking. But I had met so many people who object what I'm talking. They always say, why are you speaking about caste? I'm not speaking about caste, I'm speaking anti-caste. I'm speaking against caste. The annihilation of caste should not only be done, not only be spoken at the slums. The annihilation of caste should be spoken at the places where the caste is still being followed. So
Right,
in
correct.
that way, my art is completely, completely, my art had gone completely political. I felt like I'm here to disturb. I really felt like that. But there is one world famous quoting: art should not only comfort the disturb, but it should also disturb the comfort. That
Right.
made me, that actually, oh yeah, it's true. So I'm here to disturb, but you are my friend. I will never discriminate you, because I have no caste. I have no caste identity. I am just another human. I am very just another human. So I am ready to talk to any person from any ideology, any extremist ideological person. I can perform for them. I can perform for 2-3 hours for them. No words will hurt them. Every word will educate them. Every word will discuss with them. I feel like I got this much of an understanding to talk to the world with an eye of equality that I got from Dr. Ambedkar. that I am very much inspired. I got very much inspired with this ideologies and thoughts and guidances from director Paranjit and Neelam Cultural Center and a lot of my friends who helped me always. There's a lot of people's contribution is there in my journey, and definitely, as you said, it's not easy. It's really, really tough. This is what is my answer for you, brother.
So coming to the second one, right? Going forward, which one do you want to pursue? The rap or the cinematic version of your?
No, like I don't see it as two different rooms of job. Basically, I do both the things parallelly because it's our responsibility to work on each and every shelves of the wherever we get opportunity we have to work, brother, because we can't lose an opportunity. So in that way I see that. And also rap is our voice of voice against oppression. Rap is a voice of the voiceless. So in that way I always want to keep my rap as a voice for the people. I never want to make it an elite kind of a thing which always speaks about the pride of gender, caste, religion, nationality, or whatever is a pride. I don't want any pride in my rap. I just want realities through my rap. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Tandavani. We have a question in the forum, like how the cinema perceives you now, since it's become very popular. How the cinema perceives the Terukural. How did Terukural originated, and then how did cinema? Because cinema music is influenced by the Carnatic of the ruling class or the oppressed class of the music, right? Oppressor class of the music, right? They say what should be the number one, right? So how does the cinema sees you?
Especially after Enjaami, like what I do is, to every movie I work with, I sit with the director and talk. I will sit with him to understand what he is, which ideology is he from, what he is trying to say through this movie. So I will just first get to know the person, and I will get to know their intention of making that movie, and then I write songs. I don't write songs for money. I see even my cinema opportunities also my part of a contribution to that movie more than a lyricist. I'm not here to just write one song, get some money and move away. I work on that movie with full involvement. So in that way, people know me already, how I work and how I produce lyrics and songs. So in that way, especially after Enjaami, people everyone message me, especially mainstream actors, especially actor Dhanush and so many film celebrities, Dulquer Salman, and so many Bollywood celebrities, Tamil celebrities all over the world. So many artists share the song. So in that way, I see the cinema industry, through cinema industry, the gateway is more open to me, because everyone knows me for Vati Raid song now, for the Master movie. Everyone knows me for, especially recently released the Mandela songs and so many songs. So in that way, the cinema started respecting me more and accepting me more. Now my ideologies can be spoken more, easily. இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் obstacles இருக்காதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் இனிமே. Already எனக்கு கிடையாது actually. I do it, like in a way where அதை எப்படி ஸ்மார்ட்டா சொல்ல முடியுமோ அப்படிதான். I used to smartly work only. I don't deliberately go and put one lyric politically into one song and spoil the song, because it's like on cooking it carefully. So in that way, I insert my ideologies, I insert the ideas of equality. Especially I avoid gender pride, caste pride, or any kind of a pride which is against the nature, which is against the equality, against my ideology or my lifestyle. So, and also one more thing, whatever I write, I try to practice. So I will never write the thing which I don't practice. If I write something, definitely it's in my life. So in that way, my art is more me. So you can always see me through my art. If my art stops, definitely you can understand that my heart also stopped. So in that way, I'm more close to my art right now. So this is what is my feeling about what I'm doing right now. Yes, brother.
Great, thank you.
Hello Arivu sir, thank you very much. நாங்க வந்து கலிபோர்னியால இருந்து தமிழ் ஸ்கூல் ஆனுவல் டேக்காண்டி உங்க டான்ஸ் பண்றோம். ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ் ஒரு பியூரான தமிழ் சாங் கொடுத்ததுக்கு. We really appreciate your work. எங்க தமிழ் ஸ்கூல்ல ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் சார், இங்கிலீஷ் வார்த்தையே இல்லாத பாட்டு தான் பாடணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு. சோ உங்க பாட்டு இஸ் பெர்ஃபெக்ட்லி ஃபைன். இதான் அந்த டான்ஸ் குரூப். Thank you very much சார். ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ். Thank you. சார் எங்களுக்கு ஒரே ஒரு கேள்வி. இது உங்களோட படைப்பு, உங்களோட கிரியேஷன். உங்களுக்கு இந்த பாட்டுல தயவுசெய்து இதை மட்டும் பண்ணிடாதீங்க அப்படின்னு ஏதாவது இருக்குதா சார்?
இந்த பாட்டுல
உங்களோட பாட்டை ரீக்ரியேட் பண்ணும்போதோ டான்ஸ் பண்ணும்போதோ தயவுசெய்து என்னோட பாட்டை இது மட்டும் பண்ணிடாதீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஏதாவது நீங்க வச்சிருக்கீங்களா சார் தாட்? ஏன்னா எங்களுக்கு இந்த பாட்டு பாடுறதுக்கே ரொம்ப பயமா இருந்துச்சு.
செம்ம கொஸ்டினா இருக்கு சத்தியமா. அப்படி நான் இது வரைக்கும் யோசிச்சது இல்ல.
இல்ல
எனக்கு என்ன ஆச்சரியமா இருக்கும்னா ஒரு விஷயம் எனக்கு ஆச்சரியமா இருக்கும். என்னன்னா, இந்த பாட்டு ஷூட்டிங்க்கு நானே ஒழுங்கா ட்ரெஸ் பண்ணு போல அப்படி இருக்கும். நானே வந்து ட்ரெஸ்ஸ ஃபோக்கஸே பண்ணல. ஆக்சுவலா கொடுத்து ட்ரெஸ் போட்டு டங்கடங்கன்னு ஆட்டு வந்துட்டேன். ஆனா இதை கவர் பண்றவங்க அதுக்காக ட்ரெஸ் தச்சு அதை வாங்கி போட்டு அதுக்காக ஒரு வாரத்தை ஒரு மாசத்தை ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்றது எனக்கு பார்க்கும்போது. நான் வந்து ஒரு அரை மணி நேரம் கூட ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணல அந்த ட்ரெஸ்ஸுக்கு. நான் போனேன், ஒருத்தவங்க கொடுத்தாங்க, வேற ஆப்ஷன் கூட கேட்கல நானு. ஓகே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு போய் சோ அது ஒரு விஷயம். அண்ட் ரீல்ஸ் சூப்பரா இருக்குங்க. எல்லாருடைய எஃபர்ட்டுமே ரொம்ப.
எஸ் சார்.
நாங்க கூட காஸ்டியூம் எல்லாம் வந்து ரொம்ப சர்ச் பண்ணி போட்டு எல்லா கிட்ஸ்க்கும் ஒரே மாதிரி போட்டு விட்டு அப்படிதான் வந்து நாங்க வந்து ரெடி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். இன்னும் பாதி பாட்டு தான் நாங்க
சர்ச் பண்ணி கொடுங்க அடுத்த மியூசிக் வீடியோக்கு.
எஸ் சார், thank you very much. We are so glad to catch up with you. அது எங்க பிள்ளைங்களோட இருக்கும்போது பார்த்தது இன்னும் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு சார்.
ரொம்ப நன்றி. thank you.
எஸ், thank you சார்.
நன்றிங்க.
வணக்கம் அறிவு.
வணக்கம் அருண்.
உங்களோட தெருக்குறள் ஆல்பம் வந்து பல 100 வாட்டி கேட்டிருக்கேன். எப்பவுமே அதோட ரீச் வந்து ரொம்ப அதிகமா இருக்கணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டிருக்கேன். என்ஜாமி சக்சஸ் இவ்வளவு பெரிய சக்சஸ் ஆகும்போது ரொம்ப சக்சஸ் வாஸ் வெரி பர்சனல். ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. அப்புறம் உங்களுக்கும் வாழ்த்துக்கள். பிளஸ் கேஸ்ட்லெஸ் கலெக்டிவ்ல இருக்க கானா கலைஞர் இசைவாணி அவங்களுக்கும் மிகப்பெரிய வாழ்த்துக்கள் அந்த பிபிசி ரெக்கக்னிஷனால. என்னோட கொஸ்டின் என்னன்னா வந்து என்ன மாதிரி எதிர்ப்புகள் வந்து நீங்க நிறைய எதிர்ப்புகள் சொன்னீங்க சுத்தி உங்க கூட இருந்தவங்க சொசைட்டில இருந்து. பட் சினிமா துறையில மெயின் ஸ்ட்ரீம் உள்ளார அந்த மக்களிடமிருந்து என்ன மாதிரி எதிர்ப்புகள் உங்களுக்கு வந்தது இந்த மாதிரி வீரியமான ஐடியாலஜி கொள்கைகளை பேசும்போது? அப்புறம் அதே என்ஜாமி வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் நிறைய வாழ்த்துக்கள் வந்ததா சொன்னீங்க மெயின் ஸ்ட்ரீம்ல இருந்து. பட் மோர் ஆன் த மியூசிக்கல் சக்சஸ் அது புரியுது. பட் ஐடியாலஜி அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணி லைக் அதுல ஏதாவது ஒரு மனநிலை மாற்றம் வந்ததா எதிர்த்தவர்களிடமிருந்து? இதுதான் என்னோட கேள்வி.
Super, sama question, brother. First of all, thank you so much. It's a very, very, very nice question, Arun Rajendran. To answer your question, I had never faced any direct threat kind of things because I carefully write songs. Basically, I know I write edgy songs, but I never write an unparliamentary song. I never write a song which may lead to a legal discomfort to me. So in that way I carefully craft songs, but I know my songs are preachy. So definitely I got close threats, like almost threat. In that kind of a way only I get threats, but I don't see it as threat because I am prepared for that. I am here to do that only. Like even if you threaten me, even if you put me into jail, or even if you beat me or kill me, I'm going to do this only. So I'm made for it. So you can't stop me until I stop myself. So in that way I see it. And definitely each one of my song, every song of mine reflects the same of mine. I really don't care about people like blaming me or people scolding me. Like I have never even bothered about what people thinks of me when I sing a song about caste oppression or honor killings and manual scavenging. I just see it as I have to do it. Definitely it's my responsibility because I'm from there. I'm speaking for them because they don't write their lyrics. They have no pen and paper for their pain. So I am that. So in that way I do songs. I really don't care about who is opposing me, who is scolding. Definitely a lot of people are like very angry on me. I know that. And definitely I'm here to discuss with you, friend. That's why I call everyone like I'm your friend. I'm here to talk to you. So come, let's discuss. I have put an art on table. You want to discuss, you want to speak about it, let's speak about it. Through art we will speak. Like you and me together can annihilate caste. You and me together can bring equality. Like without understanding me, how can you be my friend? Without accepting me, you are just adjusting me. So in that way, accepting me is what is my struggle is all about. So I don't really care about people who say bad things about me, or like nobody will say bad about me and all, but discouraging kind of things and threatening kind of thing, I really don't care. I have so much of strength and power from people around me and my roots and ancestors and Ambedkar and whoever shed their blood and sweat, and they are behind me. So I don't care about who's like walking with me or not walking with me. So, and coming to your next question, definitely I have got so many good appreciations from a lot of movie persons, and film celebrities have wished me, and definitely their perception about independent music, and they started accepting that independent music is as strong as movie and much more stronger than movie industry also, because Michael Jackson's song is shot with a budget of, we make a Tamil movie here. So a Kendrick Lamar song is being shot with a budget of making one Vijay movie here. So that much of money is spent on one music video. So music business is something very big than in movie business in India. So in that way, those kind of realities are being understood here, and especially the content I speak has got an opportunity to talk to, and definitely these kind of encouragement I take as tokens to speak about who I am actually. Like nobody is now tolerating me. Everyone is right now started accepting me. Like whether they agree with my point or not, they have on the room, they have on the table, they have me on the table. So I am there in the discussion. So I am there in the scene. Whatever I write or sing or speak is being discussed by the society. Is what is I see as representing my people basically. So in that way, there are a lot of things that inspire me, amaze me, especially in this song. Right after releasing Enjaami song, I started receiving love and affection and wishes from all over the world from different personalities. I had seen some thousands of children singing it for me. I love that, even more than what I love Enjaami. I love kids being performed, like every kid, like this way of pronouncing it. They pronounce it, like I see them as stars, like I see them as stars singing. So definitely there's a very big happiness for me because any of my song, like in the song me and the reach because I speak so much hard truths on my lyrics, so there will be no catchy language for kids to listen to it or groove to it. But this Enjaami did that. So in that way, wishes me, I feel very important on me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. So going to the next question. Before we go to the next question, one question asked in the chat that what was the one biggest hurdle that you faced? That was a question, because the question is that Manju asked is like, every music that is actually to be blessed by the ruling class, who thought to be coming from the Brahmin people, right? So your music is totally non-Brahminic and promoted by influence of an independent music. How is that independent music can overwhelmingly popular as opposed to the Brahminical cinematic music? The question is from Manju, right? How do they take it, and what is the hurdle that you'll be facing, and what is the biggest hurdle that you have faced so far? That's the question.
Biggest hurdle I faced so far is like it's not one incident. Like every day is the biggest hurdle for me only. Like when you ask about, it's like lesser evil. That's kind of an answer only I can say. Less hurdle today. Like more than a hurdle, I see it as a hustle. So we just hustling. We just hustling with the sword of equality. We just hustling with the word equality. We want to speak equality through our art. So it's like it's not only one hurdle, and definitely there are going to be challenges in each and every field, and especially music field is most romanticized and like most institutionalized for Brahminical art forms, or the so-called history that they say they have narrated on history. They have narrated what is music. They have narrated who can make music. They have narrated who has to do what. So in that way, this stereotype is what is a cultural conditioning that happened in the society. So to break that and speak about the people, to speak about the voices of the people who are working class is very tough actually. As Director Paranjit used to tell me often that we have no role models here. We have no role models. Whatever you're doing is going to be the role model. So do it carefully is what he tells to me. Sometimes I feel like I had no one to tell this. I have no one to, explain my view. Right now I'm getting some 2 or 3 or good friends to, like explain, man, this is what I'm trying to do from day one. But nobody agreed me. Like nobody agreed with me. Like everyone was started saying, hey, you are speaking about Ambedkar, you are speaking about caste. You are speaking about caste means you are a casteist. Why are you speaking about reservation? Reservation system spoils the society. In that way, those kind of, those kind of like those kind of abusive comments, not very abusive, those kind of, disagreements, those kind of disagreements and difference of opinions actually has hurted me a lot. So in that way, I am facing it every day, bro. So it's not like biggest hurdle, smallest hurdle. This entire journey itself a hurdle, but definitely it's a big enjoyment too. I really enjoy being an artist. I really enjoy being, being opposed, being questioned, being celebrated. Everything is a part of a life of an artist. Yes.
Great, thank you. That's a good answer. Next question is Roja.
ஹலோ அறிவு, வணக்கம் வணக்கம் வணக்கம். இந்த படம் உங்களுக்கு சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு? ஆரஞ்சித் சாரோட நானும் என் மகனும் வினிதா மகிழினியோட மெளிர நல்லா இருக்காருன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பாரஞ்சித் சார் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா தெரியும், வாட்ஸ்அப்ல கனெக்ஷன் உண்டு. என்னுடைய தாத்தா பாட்டி எல்லாம் வந்து அரக்கோணம், அரும்பாக்கம்.
அப்படியா?
ஆமா, இன்னும் எங்க கசின்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்கிறாங்க அரக்கோணம் ரயில்வே காலனி. நான் வந்து இப்ப நியூயார்க்ல இருக்கிறேன். நான் வளர்ந்தது வந்து தாம்பரம் கிறிஸ்டியன் காலேஜ்ல. அப்பா தமிழ் ப்ரொஃபஸரா இருந்தாரு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் தலித் தமிழ் ப்ரொஃபஸர் எங்க அப்பா. அதனால எனக்கு ரொம்ப பெருமை மேல. உங்களுடைய பாடல்களுக்காக ரொம்ப நன்றி. இந்த ஒரு சான்ஸ் உங்க கூட பேச கிடைச்சதுக்கு எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. நீங்க வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஹை ஸ்கூல்ஸ், ரூரல் ஏரியாஸ்ல, லெஸ் ஆஃப் பிராமணிக்கல் பாப்புலேஷன் இருக்கிற இடங்கள்ல போய் ஒர்க் ஷாப்ஸ் நடத்துறத பத்தி யோசிச்சிருக்கீங்களா அப்படின்றது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு கேள்வி. அடுத்தது வந்து யூஎஸ்ஏல இருக்கிற மியூசிக்கல் ஆர்டிஸ்டோட, அதாவது இப்போ நிறைய நான் பிராமணிக்கல் sort of identities are coming out now, right? So CASTELESS அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு people are declaring themselves, and more people are coming out as Dalits, as Dalit identity. இப்போ என்னுடைய மகனே வந்து he's a musician and he self-identifies as Dalit. So இந்த மாதிரி, are you having any plans to collaborate with musicians in the US in the near future with Indian Americans? அப்புறம் ரெண்டாவது question வந்து workshops in rural areas, in high schools and so on, which will give little children a boost to their identity, because they face caste-based discrimination on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, thank you so much, Roja, for asking questions. And definitely, yes, it's a very important thing that you said. Our job or our responsibility is not only to create art, but we should also go and teach people. We should also, share this experience and make the people, try their own passion also. Because since I had no encouragement during my childhood, to every kid I meet, I will say, whatever you like, you do. That's what I will say. நான் வந்து குழந்தைகளை பார்த்தா நல்லா படிங்கன்னு சொல்லவே மாட்டேன். Whatever you like, you do அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு அவ்வளவுதான். அவங்க பேரண்ட்ஸை பார்த்தா என்ன சொல்லுவேன்னா, encourage them towards their talent. Don't tell them to, don't force them for your insecurities. For your insecurities, don't tell them to go to an IT office. If he wants to become a singer, let him become a singer. So in that way, I used to tell to each and every parents I meet. And because as I already told in the interview முன்னாடி சொன்ன மாதிரி, to tell my parents that I want to be a musician was a big struggle for me. I don't want that struggle to happen to another kid who comes from my place. So everywhere I go, I do this. And definitely the class ன்னு சொன்னா வரமாட்டாங்க. So if I tell this as one class எடுக்க போறோம் அப்படின்னா, people will hesitate to attend classes. So what I do is I go as performances. I just go there, I just perform for for some 2-3 hours with whatever they are, whatever that are available there, without a mic or with a mic, among the people, to sit with them and talk to them and explain them the songs and talk, so that they get very much interested towards the music and they create their own music. I encourage them to write their own stories. If I go there to a village, I will tell, man, write the problems of this village into a song. Don't ask me, or don't send me a message write a song about this, Anna. Don't say that. You write your own song. I just make you take you to another place if possible. Like I right now got that hold on me, that I right now that got that opportunity to take you to another place, to introduce you to people. So is what I can do. So in that way, I don't see it as one teaching kind of a thing. I just see it as one performance oriented, performing education basically. Education and entertainment is what I want to do more. And second question என்ன சொன்னீங்க? Sorry.
Yeah, second question வந்து Indian Americans அப்புறம்
okay.
இந்தியால இருக்கிற தலித் அமெரிக்கன்ஸோட collaborate பண்ணுவீங்க
Definitely எனக்கு
musicians
வந்து வெளிநாட்டுகள்ல உள்ள கலைஞர்களோட I would love to collaborate with artists from all over the world, definitely. And right now I'm collaborating with Tamil artists from UK, Tamil artists from Canada, Toronto. அங்கெல்லாம் நான் Tamil artists ஓட I'm collaborating right now. I'm writing songs with artists from all over the world, especially Tamil artists, independent, and especially the artists who speak for people. That's like the default thing which I always see if I want to collaborate with a person. Is he a person who stands for equality, or is he a person who just uses music to support the support the the hierarchy, the caste system? So whether it's a voice of equality or whether it's a voice of oppression, voice of pride. So in that way I just sorry, I have a list of artists who I love, so I'm collaborating with all of them.
Great, thank you for your question, William. Next question.
First of all, congrats on your success.
Thank you.
For enjoying. First, I would like to identify myself as a kid from oppressor class. So I don't know the struggles of oppressed caste. So I only got to know about them when I completely read Ambedkar. So it's just a shame that the man of the millennium is not even properly celebrated in India. So that's a real shame. So my point is, like, you've been passionately talking about equality, right? So I'm a libertarian. So I put liberty on the same front as equality. So I think even Dalits or the oppressed caste should have liberty at their heart as much as equality. So and Ambedkar, that's what I consider Ambedkar to be libertarian. So he wanted Dalits to be, or oppressed caste to be at like the positions how the oppressor caste people are presently. So I believe that there will always be wealth inequality in the future, but the equality of opportunities is what I believe. So I would like to know what is your political ideology, if you don't mind.
My political ideology is what my life journey is like. My ideology is my ideologies are shaped by my lifestyle, my place. So as I already told, I saw wordings of Ambedkar everywhere. I saw meetings about Ambedkar everywhere. I saw everyone praising one person. I saw everyone is talking about one person since from my childhood. So I got my ideological basement from Ambedkarites who are in my town. So that's the one major thing. And my ideology is what I personally would say I added up to the points is I always wanted to speak about the oppression that's happening in a, it's like when I want to present it in a punchy way. I want to always be a artist who questions, who is a protesting artist is what I would say. So the word agitate actually attracted me a lot. I would say agitate is more important, was more important. Agitate seemed to be more important to me when compared to educated unite, because like only through agitation I felt like I'm done with education. I'm right now going to agitate and unite. So in that way my ideology is being crafted, my ideology is being shaped through the vision of Dr. Ambedkar. So this is what is my all my art is based upon this ideology only. I know other than I don't know other things apart from this. So in that way, and definitely I see so many artists from all over the world speaking the same ideology in different languages, different the genre of songs and everything. I feel like it's a support for me. Like when I saw the song This Is America, I felt like, wow, we can also do a song called This Is India. And the mari I got some motivation through artists all over the world. So my ideologies are shaped upon what I saw, the people I meet, the journey I came through. Yes, brother.
Great, thank you for a question. Next, Rahul Ramaswamy Manokar.
Yes, கேக்குதா? Hi, Arivana. I just want to ask a question, like how do you take the Tamil Kalacharam, like how do you take it forward? Because I know now in the Nano, Varsha and Praveen, people were from the USA, born and brought up here. It's hard for us to understand, the culture. We grew up with movies and music, but obviously, like Paraise, Oilatam and Kavadiatam, like we don't have experience in that. Even our parents and our cousins itself, I mean, some of them came here like our parents, so they don't have experience in that. Even talking to my like Sondakana Woodlet, like they've only seen it, but they've never done it. So how do you bring this to the next generation, of folks to keep our culture moving forward? Because most of us are going overseas, for the better life for our parents, and we're detached to the Tamil culture. And I'm lucky that my parents are in Tamil Sangam and Tamil school, that I'm able to learn Parai here and things like that. But not everyone is fortunate to do so and know about the actual roots. Most of the time we just grew up with the movies and music and maybe like Sondakaranku de Pesuvam. And sometimes it's harder. We don't know how to read and write either, all the time. So Yepidi Wande, like how you bring the Tamil culture to the next generation, especially to the people who are overseas and to the Tamil people who like, take their culture for granted already. Like Yepidi Panuinga.
Definitely, I feel it is a responsibility தான் brother சொல்லணும். ஒரு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டியோட தான் இதை பண்ணணும்னு நான் நினைப்பேன். Because Tamil culture, definitely, as you said, it's a very ancient and it's definitely one of the best civilizations of the world சொல்லலாம். ஒரு ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு most beautiful language, எவ்வளோ ஒரு பியூட்டிஃபுல்லான ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ். அண்ட் இந்த லேண்டுக்கே அவ்வளோ ஒரு ஃபெர்டிலிட்டி மிகுந்த ஒரு லேண்டு, ஐவகை நிலங்கள்னு சொல்றோம், 50 காப்பியங்கள்னு சொல்றோம். there are so much to be proud of in Tamil culture. பட் ஒரு விஷயத்த நினைச்சு இந்த சமூகத்துல வருத்தப்படணும்னா, இந்த கல்ச்சர்ல நிறைய டிவைட்ஸும் இருக்கு. அந்த டிவைட்ஸின் வழியா there are so many exploitations-உம் நடந்துகிட்டே இருக்கு. ஸோ அதை பத்தி பேசியே ஆகணும். அதை பத்தி பேசாம யூனிட்டி பத்தி பேசுறதுங்கிறது வந்து எப்படின்னா, உங்க கையில வந்து ஒரு இமேஜினிங் ஒரு புண்ணு இருக்கு, ஆனா அந்த புண்ணுக்கு மேல நீங்க வந்து ஒரு பெரிய என்ன சொல்றது, ஒரு டினிம் வாங்கி போட்டாங்க, பட்டு புடவை வாங்கி போட்டாங்க. பட் அது புண்ணு தானே, அது ஆற போறது இல்லையே. அந்த மாதிரி ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதை கியூர் பண்ணாம நம்ம வந்து இங்க ஒரு கம்ஃபர்ட் லெவல்ஸ் நோக்கி போக முடியாதுன்ற ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து தான் ஐ ஃபீல் இட் அஸ் a responsibility to speak about the problems first and then the pride next. Pride என்பதே ஈக்குவாலிட்டி தான். ஈக்குவாலிட்டி இஸ் மை pride. Whenever someone treats me equally, I feel like I'm happy. I met a human today. So in that way, equality is a celebration. அதுக்கு நோக்கி அரைவாகிறதுக்கு we have to speak about so much problem. Our culture is beautiful. Our culture is the most celebrated culture. Our culture is like one most important culture அப்படிலாம் சொல்லிக்கலாம். ஆனால் our realities, how's our streets, whether the villages are one. villages என்பதே ஒண்ணு கிடையாது. ஊர் என்பதே, கிராமம் என்பதே ஊராகவும் சேரியாகவும் பிரிஞ்சிருக்கு. there are landless people, there are land owners. One man owns all the land of a village. Most of the people does not own land. A lot of people, they call farmers are not farmers, they are agricultural laborers. But the government is not even giving any incentives or any kind of remedies to save the life of landless laborers. They just do it for farmers. They just announce farmers bill. So in that way, those kind of, there's a lot of things needs to be discussed before we celebrate our culture and like the pride of our language. இதெல்லாம் பேசுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி இங்க நிறைய இஷ்யூஸ் பத்தி பேச வேண்டியிருக்கு. ஸோ அந்த ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி தான் டிரைவ் பண்ணுதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அது ஒரு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி மட்டும் இல்லாம அது எப்படி சொல்றது, அது ஒரு பயமும் கூட. அது ஒரு பயம். ஏன்னா when we leave this world, definitely இதை இப்படியே விட்டு போக முடியாது இல்லையா? அப்ப அதுக்கு எதுக்கு நம்ம பிறந்தோம்? லைக் ultimate purpose of our birth அங்க ஸ்பாயில் ஆயிடக்கூடாதுங்கிறதுக்காக ஒரு ஃபியரோடவும் we are running. Like my art is created, we cooked with fear also. Like the next generation should definitely listen to it. Even if I am there, I am not there, definitely. like இப்போ ஒரு 1000 வியூஸ்ல இருக்க சாங் வந்து நான் இல்லாத டைம்ல ஒரு 10,000 வியூஸ் போலாம். அன்னைக்காச்சும் அந்த மெசேஜ் போய் சேருன்ற ஹோப்போட அது ஆக்சுவலா இட்ஸ் ஒன் ஹாண்டிங் திங் ஃபார் மீ. அதாவது ஒரு சாங் கேட்காமலே போயிட்டா எனக்கு பயங்கர பெயின்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். ஏன்னா அந்த பாட்டுல நான் நிறைய மெசேஜ் வச்சிருப்பேன். அந்த பாட்டு ஏன் இது கேட்கல, அப்போ நான் இது சரியா பண்ணல அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஐ யூஸ் டு திங்க் லைக் தட். பட் எனக்கு வந்து டக்குன்னு ஒரு ப்ரைடா பாட்டு பண்ணிட முடியும். தமிழர்கள் எல்லாம் கெத்து, மற்றவர்களா வித்து அப்படின்னு ஒரு பாட்டு பண்ணா பயங்கரமா எல்லாருமே கொண்டாடுவாங்க. ஆனா that's not true. Before you say take pride of your language or something, we should definitely check whether it is a democratic culture, whether it has democracy in it, it has social justice in it. Without social justice, taking pride of a language or a culture is totally poisoning the society. So with the fear of being to not poison the next generation, I write my songs through that way. So a lot of my songs looks like or theory paper presentation songs, but definitely that's what my art is all about.
Thank you.
Hello, Arivu. நான் கோபால். நீங்க இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப பிஸியா இருக்கீங்க போல இருக்கு. கொஞ்ச நேரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி I saw you in the Dallas தமிழ் சங்கம் program. Right after that, you are in this. So, thank you for taking the time. I'm a big fan of you, no doubt. And I got very emotional whenever I listen to your songs through CASTELESS Collective. My question is, we have been living with this caste problem, not today, not last month, like 2000 years we have been living with this problem. Ninga vandu obviously through your art, songs, you are rousing of the people, right? Making people aware and all that. But is there a bigger step that you have, like uniting all the people, all the, let us say, all the scheduled caste people, unite all them together, make a big word, a block of words to go and seek attention from politicians to do something, otherwise it's just awareness. People get excited and then they forget and go on their lives, right? How do we make it more practical? Is there anything you're thinking in those lines that you can share, Arivu?
I feel like my political journey started from day one itself, because I feel personal is political. I would say I would answer this question from 2 point of views, because as an emotional artist, I feel like the political is very personal to me, because the food I eat, the place I live, the education I get, the salary I get, or the way I treated, everything has politics to it. Then how my art will not have politics into it? How my art will ignore all this and be one comforting artist who always make melody songs and make you sleep? I can't make you sleep. I will never let you sleep. So in that way, my art forms is here to question. So from that perspective itself, it is started political. So and as coming to the second perspective, getting into politics is that I'm not moving to that moment right now. Definitely, as you said, I'm here to unite. I'm here to unite the like-minded people, whichever the caste they come from. If they stand for equality, definitely they will have the mindset, they will have the love and care to stand with me. Definitely, I would like to create more minds like this. That's all. I saw so many artists who are the voices of equality in my town. They are elders, they passed away. I am just here to create so many artists like them, or I will be an artist like them. I am trying to do it every day. So in that way, my political journey is my artistic journey is what I am focusing right now. So because those kind of things are organizing people into a movement, or kind of getting into a vote bank, is what is not in my pipeline right now. Right now, I am focusing on my art and creating more art and artists, because the cultural impact is what actually changes the society. Because this Enjaami song took me to all the communities, like all the communities who are thinking like I'm speaking pro caste, who are about to hate me for speaking like this, started liking me after this song. So right now I realized that power of the art. It took me into the place where my foot are not allowed, where my presence is not allowed. My song is there in the headphones. So my art works there. So in that way, this impact is what I really enjoy. And I feel like this is a smart move. This is a smart move to politics. This is a smart move. This is a technological era. So we need not only to unite people in the front gate of parliament. We can also unite people through Zoom calls, or we can also unite people through musical concerts. So in that way, I'm seeing it right now, sir. Gopalakrishnan, thank you, sir.
அறிவு, உங்களுக்கு கேரளால இருந்து ஒரு வேதன் ஒருத்தர் ரேப் பண்றாரு. சோ அவரை பத்தி ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டிருக்காங்க. சோ ஆர் யூ ஹேவ் எனி பிளான் டு கொலாபரேட் வித் வேதன் இன் மலையாளம் அப்படின்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க.
We both are planning to do a bilingual song from Tamil Malayalam. எனக்கு ஹிந்தில ஒரு சாங் பண்ணனும், அம்பேத்கர் பத்தி ஹிந்தில ஒரு சாங் பண்ணனும்னு I was thinking. I'm like yesterday நாங்க அது பத்தி ஒரு we were planning to do a Hindi song for Ambedkar. ஏன்னா அது ஒரு நேஷனல் லெவல்ல ஒரு சாங் பண்றதுக்கு நமக்கு அது ஹெல்ப் பண்ணணும்னு I'm thinking. And வேடன் வந்து என்னுடைய ஃபேவரட் rapper. He's from Kerala. He's also one person who doesn't listen to hip hop during his childhood days. He just naturally naturally raps. So I feel like we are natural rappers. So we have never listened to any rap. So in that way, I see him as my brother, and I really do love him and care for him. And definitely we are going to collaborate very, very soon. Yeah.
Okay, so Deepak, you got answer.
Before the last question that I have is just take this chance to. So, how was your experience meeting with A.R. Rahman and his label? He has a Maja label. Like, how was it? Just a couple of words from you.
Maja.
Definitely, Maja is a record label. Like they envision this is their vision to like this moment is also their vision. Like they when they when they came to me first, I first asked them, I'm a political artist, is it okay for you? They said, we are producing you, we are here to collaborate with you, we are ready, you can speak whatever you want. So that with that one condition I went in, because there were so many people ready to invest for my music. There were so many people ready to produce for my music in my recent past. But I seek the team which accept my ideologies. I seek the team which definitely not cuts my freedom to speak for my people. Definitely I'm here to represent people. I'm not here to entertain. I'm not here to like sing some songs which party and dance and chill and earn money and settle. I'm here to do, I'm here to speak, I'm here to voice out for people. So in that way, Maja is the one production unit or company. Like they are the network who crafted this entire Enjaami project. So it's a very, very, very great experience, and definitely a big process of learning to collaborate with people from Maja. And also I got opportunities to meet A.R. Rahman sir a couple of times. I had deeper conversations with him. Definitely for a first time meeting, definitely we spoke a lot about the culture and the politics and the independent music and the politics in independent music, how to speak about equality, and definitely how to entertain people at the same time to represent the roots, and like questioning them in a way which definitely does not hurt them. We are not here to hurt anyone, we are here to definitely entertain. But our art should also question them. Our art should also more than entertainment, our art should have a purpose, is what we spoke about a lot. Definitely he had encouraged me a lot, wished me blessed me a lot, wished me a lot. Definitely he had very good love for me, and I'm very, very I'm thanking A.R. Rahman sir and Maja and Santosh Narayanan sir and the singer the and everyone who is involved in the project through this meeting with you. So it's a very very beautiful experience, and it's full of learning, it's full of love, care, and like empowering the art forms, empowering the independent art. It's a very beautiful journey. We are in this together. Thank you.
Great, wonderful. Yeah, it's like when A.R. Rahman spoke about your music, he always gives you a very humble answer and with a lot of humility in him, right? Very he doesn't make any very political answers, right? Any provoking answers. It's very good. So we've come towards the end of the meeting. But before we close, we would like you to sing a Jai Bhim song. Do you have any? Can you?
அதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் உடனே ஒன்று சொல்லிடுறேன். அறிவு வணக்கம், கனக் from Kanakaraaj from AKC. So from the day one you started posting on online, I've been listening all your songs, and whenever I open YouTube, so your song will go first. On that, the Snowlin தான் பேசுறேன், அந்த பாட்டு வந்து this my favorite song next to Jai Bhim, and enjoy இப்போ வந்தது. But the Snowlin song, you and Afro brother, the did song, it's so painful, showing the sterilites now again, with the COVID thing, sterilite thing is again coming up on the talk. So with that, I just want to appreciate, I really like the way you talk. I didn't expect so you have so much in-depth talking, and you had so much love for the music, for the equality, for the people. And also you said we are here to not to hurt anyone, but at the same time we want to question the people, and question the administration, question the authority. And I like that. And another one point I liked that Manji also posted on this. நன்றி தோழ அறிவு இன்றைய அவலங்களை ஒழிப்பதற்கு உழைக்காமல் வெறும் பழம் பெருமையால் பயனே இல்லை என்பதை பெரும்பாலானோர் உணரட்டும். ஸோ பழம்பெருமை பேசி நான் இது கிடையாது. ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இருக்கிற புண்ணாத்தும் அதுக்கு மேல நீ ஜீனோ பட்டு புடவையோ வாட் எவர் யூ டூ இட். அது ஒரு நல்ல கருத்து. நான் அது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைமா ஐ எம் ஹியரிங் even though we are conducting a lot of programs like this, the first time. Thank you very much, appreciate, and I know it's a night time, and yeah, here for J Beam song.
பாடலாங்களா?
கண்டிப்பா.
மனிதனை மனிதனாகவே மதித்திடல் வேண்டும் என்றே புனித புத்தன் அன்றே தோன்றினாரே மண்மேலே, மதம் என்றும் சாதி என்றும் மக்களை பிரிக்கின்ற மடமையை மாற்ற வேண்டும் என்றே மீண்டும் பிறந்தாரே. வணக்கம் ப்ரோ தமிழா தமிழச்சி என் தங்கச்சி, நான் சொல்லும் கதையை கொஞ்சம் காது கொடுத்து கேளு மச்சி. எத்தனை தலைவர்கள் நம் இந்தியாவிலே பிறந்த போதிலும் நம் நிலைமை மாறவில்லையே, அடிமையாகவே இத்தனை காலமும் இந்தியா முழுவதுமே இருக்குது இன்னும் சாதி வேற்றுமை. ஆனாலும் எதிர்த்து பேசிற யார் தந்தது நமக்கு உரிமை? தொட்டாலே தீட்டென்றான், பார்த்தாலே பாபம் என்றான், இல்லாத கட்டு கதைகளை சொல்லி சொல்லி நம்மை தள்ளி வைத்தான். பள்ளியில் சேர முடியாது, கோவிலுக்குள்ளும் பாதம் நுழையாது, சாலையில் போக முடியாது, அது சாகடித்தாலும் கேட்க ஆகியது. 1000 ஆண்டுகள் போனது இப்படி, ஆனால் இன்றைக்கு மாறியது எப்படி? படித்து பார் உன் வரலாறு. நமக்கு முகவரி அது யாரு? பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர், பாரத நாட்டின் தந்தையவர். பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர், உரிமையை வாங்கி தந்ததவர். பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர், பாரத நாட்டின் தந்தையவர். பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர், உரிமையை வாங்கி தந்ததவர். ரூபாயின் பிரச்சனை, இந்தியாவிலே சாதிகள், உலகை திரும்பி பார்க்க வைத்தது அம்பேத்கரின் சிந்தனை. வட்டமேஜையும் வியந்து தந்தது இரட்டை வாக்குரிமை அன்றைக்கு. இதனை ஏற்காத மகாத்மா காந்தி சிறையில் கிடந்தார், பட்டினி போராட்டம். என்றாலும் சுதந்திரத்தை விடவும் இங்கே சமத்துவம் தான் முக்கியம். இது புரட்சியாளர் லட்சியம். அடிமை என்பதை உணர்ந்து விட்டால் போதும், மக்கள் படித்து விட்டால் மாறும். உலக மதங்களை ஆய்வுகள் செய்தார், நமது மதம் இனி பௌத்தம் என்றார். சாதி ஒழியாத இந்திய நாட்டில் சாத்தியம் இல்லை சமத்துவம். கல்வி இல்லாத இருண்ட வீட்டில் என்றும் இல்லையே வெளிச்சமும். உடலை வருத்தி இரவும் பகலும் எழுதி முடித்தார் சட்டம். மனித மாண்பினை மீட்டெடுத்திட அவர் தொடுத்தார் யுத்தம். ஜே ஜே பீமென சொல்வோமே, சாதிகள் இல்லை வெல்வோமே. ஜே ஜே பீமென சொல்வோமே, சாதிகள் இல்லை வெல்வோமே. ஜே பீம். நன்றி.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
நன்றி.
Wow, quite talented. I mean, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Like bring again to some other occasion. So again, thank you so much. It's been very late. It's about 1 o'clock for you. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much. You've been some amazing people I met today. I feel like I'm talking to my, like, if I go to gang la pesa mari ke, I feel like I'm talking to my friends. And I felt very much closer with you people. I was very, உங்ககிட்ட நான் ரொம்ப ஓப்பனா இருந்தேன். ரொம்ப எனக்கு தோன்றதை நான் பேசினேன். So you gave that space to me. Thank you so much. Ambedkar King Study Circle, உங்களுடைய எல்லா முயற்சிகளுமே சக்சஸ் ஆகிறதுக்கு என்னுடைய always my support and love is there for you. Definitely I would love to meet you whenever possible, like உங்களை எல்லாரும் சந்திக்கணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறேன். And I hope நீங்க எல்லாருமே are safe during this second wave of pandemic we are facing, and I request you to kindly take care of you and your family and health and everything. Thank you so much. Hope I will meet you all soon directly. Thank you.
மனிதனை மனிதனாகவே மதித்திடல் வேண்டும் என்று புனித புத்தன் அன்று தோன்றினாரே மண்மேலே, மதம் என்றும் சாதி என்றும் மக்களை பிரிக்கின்ற மடமையை மாற்ற வேண்டும் என்றே மீண்டும் பிறந்தாரே.
வணக்கம் ப்ரோ தமிழா தமிழச்சி என் தங்கச்சி, நான் சொல்லும் கதையை கொஞ்சம் காது கொடுத்து கேளு மச்சி. எத்தனை தலைவர்கள் நம் இந்தியா இந்தியாவிலே பிறந்த போதிலும் நம் நிலைமை மாறவில்லையே, அடிமையாகவே இத்தனை காலமும். இந்தியா முழுவதுமே இருக்குது இன்னும் சாதி வேற்றுமை, ஆனாலும் எதிர்த்து பேசிட யார் தந்தது நமக்கு உரிமை? தொட்டாலே தீட்டென்றான், பார்த்தாலே பாவம் என்றான், இல்லாத கட்டு கதைகளை சொல்லி சொல்லி நம்மை தள்ளி வைத்தான். பள்ளியில் சேர முடியாது, கோவிலுக்குள்ளும் பாதம் நுழையாது, சாலையில் போக முடியாது, சாகடித்தாலும் கேட்க ஆளேது. 1000 ஆண்டுகள் போனது இப்படி, ஆனால் இன்றைக்கு மாறியது எப்படி? எடுத்து பார்க்கும் வரலாறு நமக்கு முகவரி, அது யாரு?
பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர் பாரத நாட்டின் தந்தையவர். பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர் உரிமையை வாங்கி தந்ததவர். பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர் பாரத நாட்டின் தந்தையவர். பாபா சாஹேப் என்றொருவர் உரிமையை வாங்கி தந்ததவர்.
ரூபாயின் பிரச்சனை, இந்தியாவிலே சாதிகள், உலகை திரும்பி பார்க்க வைத்தது அம்பேத்கரின் சிந்தனை. பட்ட மேஜையும் வியந்து தந்தது இரட்டை வாக்குரிமை அன்றைக்கு. இதனை ஏற்காத மகாத்மா காந்தி சிறையில் கிடந்தார், பட்டினி போராட்டம். என்றாலும் சுதந்திரத்தை விடவும் இங்கே சமத்துவம் தான் முக்கியம். இது புரட்சியாளர் லட்சியம். அடிமை என்பதை உணர்ந்து விட்டால் போதும், மக்கள் படித்து விட்டால் மாறும். உலக மதங்களை ஆய்வுகள் செய்தார், நமது மதம் இனி பௌத்தம் என்றார். சாதி ஒழியாத இந்திய நாட்டில் சாத்தியமில்லை சமத்துவம். கல்வி இல்லாத இருண்ட வீட்டில் என்றும் இல்லையே வெளிச்சமும். உடலை வருத்தி இரவும் பகலும் எழுதி முடித்தார் சட்டம். மனித மாண்பினை மீட்டெடுத்திட அவர் தொடுத்தார் யுத்தம்.
ஜெய ஜெய பீம் என சொல்வோமே, சாதிகள் இல்லை வெல்வோமே. ஜெய ஜெய பீம் என சொல்வோமே, சாதிகள் இல்லை வெல்வோமே. ஜெய ஜெய பீம் என சொல்வோமே, சாதிகள் இல்லை வெல்வோமே. ஜெய ஜெய பீம் என சொல்வோமே, சாதிகள் இல்லை வெல்வோமே.
கல்வி ஒன்று சேர் புரட்சி செய், கற்றுக்கொள்ள தின முயற்சி செய். சாதி என்பதொரு மனநிலைதான், மாற்றிக்கொண்டாலே நீ மனிதன். கல்வி ஒன்று சேர் புரட்சி செய், கற்றுக்கொள்ள தின முயற்சி செய். சாதி என்பதொரு மனநிலைதான், மாற்றிக்கொண்டாலே நீ மனிதன். சாதி மத பேதங்களை தூக்கி போடு, இனி வரும் காலங்களை மாற்றிவிட கையில் எடு சமத்துவம். மலர மனித குலத்தை பிரித்த மதங்களை மறந்த பிறகு பிறப்பு மனித குணக்குள்ள. எடுத்து படித்து பாரு அம்பேத்கரை, அதற்கு பிறகு பாரு உன் வாழ்க்கையை. எடுத்து படித்து பாரு அம்பேத்கரை, அதற்கு பிறகு பாரு உன் வாழ்க்கையை.
ஜெய ஜெய பீம் என சொல்வோமே, சாதிகள் இல்லை வெல்வோமே. 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 ஜெய் பீம்.